Okay, when Jesus teaches us about the divine will, he says that when the soul rises, wakes up, the soul must fix its will in the divine will through the prevenient act. That that is like the morning sunrise. So the sun rises afresh each morning. So we make our prevenient act first thing every morning. And that way we fix our will in the divine will. And it can be, I've got a very long 3-page daily prayer to the divine will, but also some mornings like this morning I had to get up early and go down to the shrine. So it's just, okay, Jesus, I give you my will in exchange for your will. That was it, and then I was gone. I was up and breakfasting and off.
That's what I find myself doing some mornings, and then I come back later to the prayers, because I've got the morning prayer and the consecration, and then I tend to do those as well. But some mornings you just get a chance to say, I give you my will in exchange for yours. And I was just wondering, if you didn't get a chance to say that, or if you got up and, you rushed out, although I don't know if you could do that really, you get into such a way that you do immediately think of the divine will. But I did think, what if I didn't do it one morning, or didn't actually say it rather? Would, that count as, oh Lord, taking it that you're in His will? But no, it wouldn't really. I thought I knew the answer to that, Derek, anyway, but...
Yeah, but Mary, you've got all the time in the world on your hands. Why are you rushing about?
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to make more time, though. I definitely am, because I think you need to be more quiet, and I'm definitely starting to do that, and a lot of things go by the wayside. So it's a work in progress, you might say.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Making the time to be quiet is good, and making the time to rest is good. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, every single morning, please, everybody. Well, so it's like the same with an athlete. An athlete who's training for the Olympics. Let's say a runner, because that's what I used to do a lot of. You don't sort of wake up one morning and think, okay, I've done all my exercises yesterday. I don't need to do any today.
Yeah, take your point.
Yeah, and it's also the same with food. Oh, it's okay. I had a meal yesterday. I don't need to eat anything today. Yeah. Now it's funny because we when we apply these things to the material world, we can sort of see, oh, there's a foolishness here. But when we look at the interior life, because we don't see our soul, we only see the effects of our soul. So let me explain that to you all a little bit. We do not see the soul. Okay, you can't see your soul unless you journey inwards. When you journey inwards, at some point, God shows you the beauty of your soul. Okay, when you're further on. But at the minute, what you see is the effect of your soul. Now, what your soul should be like, okay, is every one of you should be consumed with the love of God to such a degree that you rarely think of your own needs. Okay? Getting that? That's the soul that is in good health. The soul rarely thinks of its own needs. The soul that is in good health is immersed in a deep, profound peace perpetually. And it's God's own peace. The soul that is in good health does not like being free of suffering. Okay?
Very interesting. Yeah.
Well, these are all these signs. These are the external signs of an internal soul that is in union with God. Okay, so when you see these things in a soul, the joy that the soul gets from suffering for Christ, and the fact that the soul is not interested in itself, it is only interested in doing the will of God and in the people around it. Complete self-sacrifice.
Saint Therese comes to mind, really, there when you're speaking, Derek.
Beautiful. Yeah. And the reason this was provoked is because of this scenario with when we are thinking about our material life, our body, our appetite, our health, it's very, very obvious to us what we need to do each and every day. But because we're not really tuned in to what, when we see, let's say we're looking at a person on television, an athlete, male or female, and they're fit and they're healthy, and it's obvious. So we know what these people look like. We know what to expect from these people who are in good shape physically. But what does it look like when someone is in good shape spiritually? That's what we need to tune into. Yeah. And that's tough because there are so few examples in our day-to-day lives. The church gives us models. Mother Teresa, John Paul II, Saint Teresa of Lisieux, Teresa of Avila. The church gives us these models of supreme goodness and holiness. But we are dependent somewhat on the testimony rather than the actual person. And there's another slight curveball, if you like, in that the more a soul is united to God, the more the soul wants to be hidden. And they don't want to talk about themselves. So you've got a real difficult situation here in one sense, because you're kind of thinking, hold on a minute, I would love to get to meet somebody who is that much consumed with the love of God, but they don't want to be interviewed. They don't want themselves to be known. They don't want to talk about themselves. They don't want to be seen. They want to be silent and hidden. And so you have this incredible contradictory thing. How can I find this model of holiness when they all want to be hidden? And that's where we go back to what the church is giving us with their biographies, their writings, their letters of spiritual direction, etc.
Yeah, that makes sense, Derek.
Yeah, that was a heck of a long-winded answer. See, this is why people aren't asking me questions, because they know it's not going to be a 30-second answer.
That's good. That's great. We learn more that way.
I'm glad. I appreciate you there, Mary. Thank you very much. I'll see if let's keep the door open. Any other questions, anybody on this journey that you're all on? This is your opportunity, everybody. Nope, we're all being very quiet out there in Zoom land. Okay, well look, if you do think, Derek, I need this answered or that answered, just either do it on chat, tap me a message out on chat, or just put your hand up, okay? So, I mentioned in the session a little bit about self-knowledge. I want to cover that up a little bit. Gerard provoked a thought about self-knowledge. And also I want to tie it in with the interior silence that God has called us to. Okay. And maybe a little bit on peace. I'm thinking about doing a full session on peace on Sunday though, so we'll see how that goes. First of all, I just want to remind you about the thing about self-knowledge. We live in an age where people have a very, very poor self-knowledge. Everyone has got a very narcissistic and egotistic sense of who they are. I say everybody, a lot of people have. And this is known. This isn't a Derek theory. This is what I've picked up from my readings and so on. Narcissism is being heavily promoted. The self, basically. and we should all be looking after ourselves at the detriment of everybody else. Now, with the gift of the divine will and with the gift of the interior life, we need to be aware of how narcissistic and egotistic we can be. Okay, how much we are focused upon ourselves as the center of our universe. So there can be a tendency within us to sort of reach out to other people occasionally and to think about other people occasionally during the course of the day. But most of the day, our thinking will probably be centered on me and my needs and my wants. What I want, what I need. Yeah? Do I have an agreement with that? Yep. Thank you very much. So this is the egocentric side of who we are. And this is a good self-knowledge. So I'm very happy, I'm very pleased that I had the nods, because that actually demonstrates a good self-knowledge, a healthy self-knowledge already. The fact that you can understand and agree with what I'm saying on that. Now this needs to be purified, and the first step in the purification is for us to know that we are egocentric and to know that we have narcissistic tendencies, to recognize that we can be manipulative and deceitful, and so on. The list can go on. The proud and the envious and the greed, the fact that it's all there. It might not be manifesting itself continuously during the course of the average day, just bear with me,